Hello everyone. Today we will start our 22nd chapter, Rulers and Buildings. Today we will discuss about Qutub Minar, engineering skills and constructions. I would like you all to open page number 197. This is the picture given on page number 197. Just next to the picture you can read, Qutub Minar is 5-story high. The band of inscription you see are under its first balcony. The first floor was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak and the rest by Iltutmish around 1229. Over the years, it was damaged by lightning and earthquakes and repaired by later kings. So, Qutub Minar is a 5-storied building, and the inscriptions you can see in this picture, they are under the first floor, balcony of the first floor. First floor was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak and the remaining Qutub Minar was constructed by Iltutmish around 1229 AD. Now over the years it was damaged by lightning and earthquakes and repaired by later kings. Now again you see same picture. The first balcony of the Qutub Minar. Qutbuddin Aibak had constructed this monument in Delhi around 1199 CE. Now please notice the pattern created under the balcony by the small arches and geometrical designs. Can you find two bands of inscriptions under the balcony? These are words written in Arabic. Now notice that the surface of the minar is curved and angular. Placing an inscription on such a surface requires great precision. Only the most skilled craftsperson could perform this task. Remember that we have very few buildings were made out of stone or bricks 800 years ago. Between the 8th and the 18th centuries, kings and their officers built two kinds of structures. The first were forts, palaces and tombs, safe, protected and grandiose places of rest, and the second were structures meant for public activity, including temples, mosques, tanks, wells, caravans, sarais and bazaars. Now in Qutub Minar's picture you can see that the craftsperson, they were very skilled and they have done the designing in a particular manner, that is curved and angular manner, and around 800 years ago very few buildings were constructed by using bricks or stones. Now between 8th and 18th century, kings and officers they have built two types of structures. First were forts, palaces and tombs. They were safe, protected places, and the second one were meant for public activities like temples, mosques, tanks, wells, caravans, sarais and bazaars. Sarais means rest houses. Kings were expected to look after their subjects, and by making structures for their use and comfort, rulers hoped to win their praises. Construction activity was also carried out by others, including merchants. They built temples, mosques, wells. However, domestic architecture, large masoneries, havelis for merchants, and survived only from the 18th century. Now kings were expected to look after their subjects. Subjects means people of the kingdom. So they wanted to make structures for the use and for comfort of the people. In return, kings used to expect praises from the public. Construction activity was also carried out by merchants. They built temples, mosques, and wells. And domestic architecture, like large masonries, that is havelis of merchants, those type of havelis you can see from 18th century only. Engineering skills and construction. Monuments provide an insight into the technologies used for construction. Take something like roof for example. We can make it by placing wooden beam or a slab of stone across 4 walls. But the task becomes difficult if we want to make a large room with an elaborate superstructure. This requires more sophisticated skills. Now, for construction purpose, any monument or any small building, just you place 4 walls, you can place a roof over it. But if you make a very big room, then to place the roof over it becomes the difficult task, and it requires sophisticated skills. Between the 7th and 10th centuries, architects started adding more rooms, doors, and windows to buildings. Roofs, doors, and windows were still made by placing a horizontal beam across 2 vertical columns, a style of architecture called trabeate or corbelled. Between the 8th and 13th centuries, the trabeate style was used in construction of temples, mosques, tombs, and buildings attached to large stepped wells. Now, between 7th and 10th centuries, architects, they have started making more number of rooms. They added more number of doors and windows to the building. So now they were just constructing 4 walls and placing roof over it, but because they added more number of rooms, the construction became more sophisticated. The style of construction where they were just placing 2 vertical columns and a horizontal beam to construct the roof, that style of construction is known as trabeate or corbelled. And this style of construction was used to construct temples, mosques, tombs, buildings, and they were attached with large stepped wells. Wells were there with steps in it. Today we have discussed about Qutb Minar, engineering skills and construction. For your homework, first question, what is trabeate principle of architecture? Second, describe the construction of Qutb Minar. Thank you.